Hello, friends. Hey, Ori, it's good to see you. Maybe I should get on stream. There we go. Hello. Thank you for being here. I think I might have figured out what... to all platforms. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so that came up on... Wow, some of the messages are showing up on streamer.bot and some of them are not. It's being very oh, I'm an idiot. Jesus Christ, I am so fucking stupid. I was looking at the bottom of the chat window on streamer.bot or streamerbot, and I forgot that I inverted the chat, so now the newest message always comes up at the top, which is why I was so fucking confused. Because I tried that the last time I streamed, which is now like a week ago, week and a half. And so I'd forgotten, I'd only did it once, so I'd forgotten. I am so... Okay. So, that's how this is going. Oh, I forgot my... Give me 1 second. Settled in here, get some work done. Because I got shit to do. All right. Give me a second here. Everything is going bonkers. Okay. Hello. Okay, so we're all set now as far as the chat goes. I don't have to worry about breaking up that window. We've got our background in place. Things are good. Well, things are functioning. And hello, I hope you're having a good day, Ari. Hope everything's going well. I took some time last week to focus on some things, and I'm not sure entirely if that was good or bad. Because I was feeling like I was really struggling to remain present on stream, and I'm like, okay, well then don't stream. You know, take some time off and get yourself situated, because sometimes I use this for... There are varying tasks that I use my on-stream time for. And I wasn't feeling productive, which is the primary reason that I do co-working streams. And so I'm like, let me take some time off and try to get refocused. And the jury's still out as to whether or not that was a good move or it actually made things worse. Anyway, so I'm going to get back in here and try to figure out what I need to do. In any case, you just work up. Existence is a pain. We're in full agreement on that point. But yeah, we'll see. Okay. So yeah. I was going to ask what you've got going on, Ari, but you just told me that you just woke up, so I think that is... I wish I had just woken up. I'm in a schedule now where I'm up at, even though I haven't been working for far too long, and I'm trying to remedy that. I still maintained my schedule of getting up at 6:30 every day. I say maintained, it wasn't necessarily an active choice. It's just like that's when I was already in that cycle. And so even when I do stay up late or later, my brain still wakes up at between 6 and 6:30 anyway, even if whether my alarm has gone off or not. So that is where I'm at now. Unsure if you're supposed to go out or not. 6 a.m. Yeah, it's not fun. Well, I mean, it's not anything. It's just when I wake up, you know. Should I ask what you're going out for? Maybe we'll try that one. We'll see. Board surf. We're not doing that. All right, let's see what we got here. Come on back. Let's go to... No, I don't want that. So before we do this, let's look at... Can I add another one? This was like 15 years. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's... yeah. I can see why that would... seem kind of ominous. Shit. Okay. It sounds like it could be a really good day or a really awful day, depending on... wedding stuff can kind of go either direction, you know? At least that's been my experience. Limited though it is. I haven't been that closely... I've only been in one person's wedding party. It wasn't during the weekend. It wasn't going to be... It was going to be today, so... It might be rough. Okay. Come on. What are you doing, Google? I feel like you're hit by a bus. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That's never fun. It's today the 19th. Christ. All right, let's log this. What am I working on today? Several things. Right now I'm looking through job listings. And Yeah, I'm looking at and earmarking job listings. I need to normally I spend my time doing that like early in the morning when I get up and kind of get it out of the way for a day and give myself a required time of either 2 hours or like 5 resumes submitted, applications submitted. But that hasn't been working out the last few days. Well, I don't do it on the weekend. I do it 5 days a week. So I have some, can maintain some kind of sanity, balancing the routine against my ability to function and not be completely, totally, and thoroughly stressed. So yeah, I'm trying to get myself back into that. Let's see. Need to get back to looking. Yeah, that's really rough. My thing is that I don't want to go back to exactly what I was doing. What's the problem here? Let's put that in there. I'm trying to find something that will use... Well, for the longest time, I was trying to find something that would use my skills, but be in like a different environment. At this point, I'm not even really sure that I want to push it that far. Like, anything that's a possibility. I'm considering. Let's try this. Sorry, I was focusing a little bit. Anyway, so I was and still am a social worker. And I was working in healthcare kind of adjacent to, like I wasn't working as a therapist or anything. I worked for an insurance company, authorizing care for people. And I had been wanting to get out of that for a while. Not like out of it, away from it completely, but just, you know, different type of work. And so I did this course to do this project management certificate, certified associate project manager, because I thought those two things would work well together. And there are jobs out there for that, but the thing that I'm running into is maybe in the like various like healthcare associated fields, biotech, healthcare, possibly insurance, although I'd really rather not do that anymore for all the reasons you'd expect. And the thing is, I know that those jobs are there because all the job listings that I'm seeing are for, the way it works with project managers is you have a project manager, program manager manages, more often than not, manages other project managers and manages a host of projects that are grouped together into a program. And then you have, on top of that, technically, is a portfolio manager who is really monitoring sort of the financial investment of the projects. What is the portfolio? What is it in the business's best interest? What projects are in the business's best interest? So that's the hierarchy. There are plenty of program manager jobs, not so many project manager jobs. And those program managers have to have people working for them. So I know those jobs are there. They're just apparently not hiring for them. Anyway, so it's been a long process. And the stuff that the actual like real social work that I used to do, just doesn't pay enough, you know. I don't say real social work, it's all kind of social work, but the stuff that I did in the first half of my career, I spent the first half of my career working for nonprofits. I did therapeutic foster care, casework. I worked for a couple of years on with one of the major charities in New York on the September 11th recovery program. Worked on a information referral hotline in New York City that also doubled as the reception point for that area's call center for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, or the 800 suicide line. And the reason that I got away from that kind of work is not because I didn't want to do it. It's because, I mean, I moved around a lot and tried a bunch of different things, but at the end of the day, I needed to move into something that made me a decent living, because nonprofit employees, are, even ones with advanced degrees, are notoriously underpaid. So now here I am. Christ. Really? Instead of letting me upload my resume, you're going to make me do all this shit? Alright, let's take a look at something here. Oh, that's no problem, Maury. If I have mentioned it before, it's been a while, so that's not a problem. Could you just, hey menu, could you scroll the way you're supposed to? Not responding. That's encouraging. There we go. Okay. Into the drive thing stuff. There we go. That's ridiculous. There it is. Okay. Let me make sure that what I'm... Okay, so that's that. And what I actually want is the other one. Come on. Resume. Oh, this one over here, minimize that. This can get out of the way because I'm not working on that till later. Did you move to another city, or is it a smaller town? Because I feel like it is. The short answer to your question is I did not. I moved to, well, I mean, I was living in New York City. I lived in Queens. So anywhere is a much smaller city. But yeah, and I don't know if you can see me because ads are playing right now. I'll get back to that question when they're done. Give me 1 second. Come on, God damn it. Here we go. Okay, ads are gone. So yeah, the short answer is that I did move to a much smaller town than where I was living. Even the local city in Lancaster County would be the biggest city in Lancaster County is Lancaster City. Is still way smaller, but I don't live in Lancaster City. I live about 25 minutes away. So yeah. I'm there aren't nearly as many opportunities around here, but I'm not necessarily looking for, like right now I'm still looking for, the jobs I'm primarily applying for are remote positions anyway, so it actually doesn't matter. There are, the jobs that I would be able to get in the area would be more like traditional social work jobs, doing discharge planning or, working on with hospitals or other things like that. More direct practice kind of social work jobs would be available locally. But again, I don't, it's not really what I want to do. And if I'm going to do something that I don't want to do, I want there to be a paycheck associated with it that I can live off of, and I really can't. If I was in my 20s living with roommates, that would be one thing. But not so much when you're, a guy in his 50s with all the corresponding student loan payments and health insurance bills and all that other stuff. So yeah. So I'm still looking primarily remotely. I'm looking at the local jobs to see if there's anything there. But there isn't a lot. So yeah. All right, let's move this one over here too, so that I have... You know what? Maybe let's move it over here, as much as I would rather not. Yeah, well, I run... it's set to run 1.5 minutes worth of ads every 30 minutes or so. But people get varying amounts of ads depending on how many have played, what you've seen or haven't seen, or things like that. So, yeah, let's see. Let's do this. 5. All right. Christ, my fingers don't want to work at all. Remote is great, assuming I can find something. Well, that's why I was able to remove out... remove? That was why I was able to move out here to begin with, is because my job at the time was fully remote. But I got to the point where it was really kind of affecting my my health, because I was super stressed all the time. And I had you know, I had a pretty bad year. And 2022, that was when my brother passed away. So, yeah, there were a lot of factors that involved me leaving there. 2006, 2009. So yeah, I'm looking, and I am working on other projects in the background, trying to keep myself productive. Well, I really don't have to work that hard to keep myself productive. It's more like just staying focused on stuff when I'm actually staying motivated to like stay on track with things I'm actually doing would probably be a better way to put it. Okay, and that was from... Okay. We'll stick with that. Of course, they don't have my... I'm not putting that in. Excuse me. Never had an official remote job, but there have been time when you were going to move with your cousin 3 hours away. It was like, yeah. A town is dominated by Walmart and there's nothing else. That is true of, excuse me, many, many, many towns across the United States. Oh, crap. Christ. Certifications. It's not even in here. That's not it. Okay, looks like we're done with this one. Okay, so that's one that's not going anywhere. Let's see what we got here. What's the dashboard look like? Okay. Don't have to worry about that right now. All right. All right. Yeah, sure. Let's do this one. Decide if you want to make 10 a.m. French bread pizza or just eat ice cream like an adult. I mean, those both seem like pretty good options to me. I would tend not to. I personally would probably shy away from the pizza, away from the ice cream. Not because of any judgment about it, but just because something that sweet that early in the morning is not for me, which is funny because when I was a kid, I ate the most sugared cereals imaginable. I think like a lot of kids do. But yeah, that would be my concern. Is I don't think I could deal with that amount of sugar and sweet. Actually, in addition, as an adult, I would still eat probably the equivalent amount of sugar. Like, that's not true. I would have no problem eating a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch on any given morning. Cornflakes. I'm neutral on cornflakes. If we're going to talk about cereals that don't have that little kid kind of flavor that I still eat, which is basically just Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I would prefer Wheaties to cornflakes. Not that either of those are inherently better than the other. Don't love that. Cinnamon Toast Crunch does just hit. It's lovely. I have a box of it inside right now. I also have a box of Wheaties. Both of which would probably be better than the bagel and cream cheese that I eat pretty much every morning. Well, I can't say for sure that I can't say for sure that the Cinnamon Toast Crunch would be... Wait. No, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is definitely better than the Wheaties. The bagel and cream cheese. Bagel and cream cheese probably has more protein. And the starches in the bagel probably would be close to the amount of starch or carbs that I'm getting from the sugar in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That might just be a wash. Do you have any of these? No. No. Yeah, we'll just go with that. No, we're going to continue. Because you never know. Okay, where was I? Cornflakes are a nostalgic thing for you. I can relate to that. Sometimes can't stomach heavy flavor in the morning. Also, I understand. I have a sweet tooth. I'll toss some dark chocolate chips in. Interesting. This morning, though, you want savory sweet. That's cool. Would but I shouldn't. But I could die at any time. True. That last sentence is a footnote to pretty much anything we hold ourselves back from, right? I am similarly particular about breakfast foods. Like, I would not eat a bowl of ice cream in the morning. I would easily eat, let's say, a stack of pancakes smothered in, like, some type of fruit topping or a waffle with maybe, like the glazed strawberries. I would absolutely do that, but I would not eat ice cream. I wouldn't eat the chocolate chips and cornflakes, although I respect where you're coming from there, and it isn't any healthier or really terribly different than some of the sugary shit I've eaten for breakfast over the course of my life. But the chips, that wouldn't work for me. I think the whole thing is really more of a mental thing, right? But I associate that more with dessert. And yeah, just not first thing in the morning. It kind of makes no sense, because there are things that I would eat that are loaded with sugar, and it probably equal in terms of, I'm just thinking in terms of the sweetness, right? Because we're not really talking about healthy or unhealthy, we're talking about the flavor profile. So yeah, I would waffles with fruit on them, a cheese Danish, or a fruit and cheese Danish, or 4. I would definitely do that. But yeah, life makes very little sense. Brains make absolutely no sense in the things that they yeah. It's all fucked. It's all bizarre. Okay. Okay, so I've got 4 resumes out as of this moment, which is kind of my goal, is a couple of hours or 4 to 5 resumes. Because I figure if I can do that, that's around 20 resumes a week. So that's a decent pace. Actually, it's ridiculous. The way what job hunting has turned into over the course of my life is really kind of repugnant, but it is the way it is. I'm up to like 54 resumes out in the field now. Thank you. Well, it looks like you're going out, sent out breakfast. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Going out meaning you're heading out to meet your cousin? I already forgot. It's already, you said it a few minutes ago. Your cousin, yes. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's could be worse things. Confirmation that I applied for that job. Why am I getting emails from Red Robin? Because Red Robin is close to my parents, and sometimes we pick up food there. Thank you very much. Will be reviewed. That's good to hear. I don't need to hear from Guitar Center. I bought one thing from you a couple of years ago. Not doing that. Okay, that's done. That's done. No, I don't think I will be doing that. And thank you, YouTube, for emailing me to let me know that that my stream is live. That is helpful. That is good to know. It's good to know that the stream is actually doing what the stream is supposed to do. All right, so that's my daily quota on job applications. So let's get the fuck out of that shit. I really need to organize some of this stuff better. Okay. So now we can move on to something a little bit less mentally taxing. But before we do, there'll be an ad break starting in about 3 or 4 minutes. Could be somewhere between 2 and 4 minutes. It says the pre-rolls are off for 3 minutes and 49 seconds, excuse me. However, it says it was 28 minutes and 17 seconds since the last ad. This is more than you need to know. In any case, I'm going to take a quick break. So we're going to put on the BRB screen. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to leave the fish up because fish. And I will be back in a few minutes. Feel free to get up, walk around, stretch, do all the things you need to do as I will be doing them over here. And then I will be back to do more co-worky stuff. because you lied. How dare you? When you get back, you'll have to tell me, did you lie about going out? Or did you lie about what you wanted? Because when it came to the breakfast stuff, we've both been lying to ourselves over and over again. Sorry, I had the mug to my lips when I was saying that. I should put the camera back on. And so that caused me to mumble even more than I usually do. There's something about me positioning this mic this way that, because it's so close to my face, that I tend to pull my voice back more into my speak more from the throat than I normally do. That's weird. I have thought about getting, despite the fact that this is much better than anything that I could put on a headset, I have actually flirted with the idea of getting a really good lav mic and just wearing it on my headset. Just so I can have, not only do I have better quality, but my speaking voice would be a little bit more natural. Because if I put it here, I kind of get more room if I do this, which I'm not crazy about. Move it like right there. The other thing I'm not crazy about is that I've got stuff on the screen that doesn't require my direct attention, but wouldn't hurt if it's in my way, is what I'm saying. Oh, and guess what I forgot to do? I've been on for an hour and 11 minutes. Didn't put out the live tweet. Or live post, I should say. Let's add the link card. Put that out there. Nope, we don't want to take that off. Okay. Let's put that on Threads. And the twarter. If I take that out, yeah, it does. Okay. So let's post that and that and that. You missed the headset mic, not gonna lie. I don't blame you. I had for a while I was doing the photography streaming way back, I was using something called a mod mic, which was made by Antlion, I believe, which is literally a decent quality kind of headset boom mic. Much better quality than you would get on the standard like gaming headset. Still not in this class, but it was a decent quality mic. It sounded okay. But the cord that went from the mic to the computer was integrated into the headset, so it wasn't something you could plug in. And I had a problem which you often have with cables that you use regularly, which is that the cable started to create noise because of the amount of time that the cable's manipulated. Happens a lot with what do you call it? Like quarter-inch cables, quarter-inch plug cables that are used for microphones and electric musical instruments when they're not cared for properly. And even when they are, just over time, if you move them at all, they eventually get to the point where the actual cable will degrade and you'll get like occasional crackling, right? That happened with this thing. But unlike a bad patch cable that I could just remove and put a new one in, or a bad XLR cable for a microphone, this was integrated into the boom. So once the cable went, the mic was screwed. And it was expensive for something that only lasted me like a year. I wonder if I might want to try that again. Mod mic on Amazon. What do they go for? Yeah, see, these are all... Actually, it's only attachable noise canceling microphone with mute switch. It's only $40. And they do have one that's compatible with PC. That's wireless for $139. I don't know that I would want to do it wireless. But yeah, they are still out there. Again, not terrible sound, not nearly as good as the sound I'm getting out of this thing. But you know. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to grab this. My hand hurts now. I've got, my skin's pretty dry, especially on my hands. Copy link to post. Let me put that in my Discord. My much neglected Discord. I am posting... I'm still posting on, you know, the other platforms. But Blue Sky, now that it's opened up, has kind of become my primary place to post stuff. What the hell? Okay. I just gotta... Alright, whatever. This is what I get for going down the Twitter/X rabbit hole. I got a notification for an account that I don't follow. Excuse me for slurping right into the mic. That was uncalled for. You haven't regretted deactivating yours. Deactivating your Twitter? I don't know which one we're... Yeah, right. I was just most recently talking about Twitter. This is my ADHD brain. Yeah, I haven't deactivated it because there's still a lot of stuff that... There are people that I keep track of there. Somewhat. And, you know, not everybody's on Blue Sky, and the people who are primarily posting on Twitter have now kind of fractured among different sites. Most of them are still posting on Twitter, but not nearly as much. Honestly, Blue Sky has become a better source of... Like, I used to get news on Twitter, and I don't mean like, you know, people retweeting horse shit. I mean, like, I would actually follow the major newspapers and keep them all on a separate list. I still do, but I just don't go there anymore for that. Whereas Blue Sky, the few news agencies who've adopted Blue Sky, what am I, who's on my news feed right now about? I've got The Verge, Associated Press, ProPublica, Washington Post, unofficial BBC WorldBot. I didn't realize that it was unofficial. And NPR. And I've got those all in a separate feed. And the news flow to my brain has been better ever since. I wanted to say that, but the first NPR story that comes up on this list is, at a sneaker conference in Philadelphia over the weekend, former President Donald Trump unveiled his latest pitch, and it wasn't a stump speech. This guy created his own brand of sneakers, a $399 golden high-top sneaker with a T on the side of it. And it's gold with the top of it has gold stars and I don't even want to. The man is selling sneakers. He's selling sneakers now. He is a true huckster, a true con man. Doesn't matter what it is, he'll sell it. As long as it's got his name on it. The thing that sucks is being able to quickly see what is going on with people and responding quickly. Yeah, me too. And that Blue Sky doesn't do that. I mean, it's the same mechanism, right? But it's just there's so many fewer people on it. The usage has grown tremendously since they opened up, obviously. But not like that much. It's up to almost 5 million. Excuse me. Which is great because it was under 1 million for the longest time. Anyway. You like Instagram because you have more silly creative stuff there. That's true. But it's a whole process when you want to post some, yeah. Twitter is way too accessible to you that you treat it like a journal. Well, that's kind of was the original point, right? Like when people didn't know, social media was still in its infancy and Twitter had started, they referred to it as a microblogging site. Of course, it's become a completely different animal over the years, which is unfortunate. Oh, okay. Yeah, if it's... I can understand that. If it's not good for you, then it's not. I totally get using things in a particular way to fit your best needs. And sometimes something that requires that has a little bit higher barrier to entry in terms of what you have to post and how you have to post it. Can give you a buffer, can be more of a buffer than a hindrance, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. It's the long way around. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's go back to this. I don't have my, one of my ads went south, I think. Ads, one of my add-ons, and, yeah, it's not working anymore. Oh, yes it is. Never mind. No, it's not. Interesting. I had a... Alright, let's make sure those are both checked off. Aquarium, place a duck simulator, we can turn that off. Alright. Oh, because I didn't reinstall it. Shit. Or did I? I probably didn't. Fuck me. When I reinstalled OBS, there were a couple ads that I didn't put back in place. One of them was my screen overlay thing. Because I had done very specific tweaks to it so that it would react to my keystrokes but not put the actual letters on the screen. Just to make things a little bit more visual when I'm sitting here typing away on something that I'm not going to show on the screen. And that turned out, well, it went away. Which I have mixed feelings about, because I wasn't, after the initial success of getting it to work kind of the way I wanted it to, I wasn't crazy about the look of it or what it was doing, but I liked it better than not having anything on the screen when I was typing. So, like, I mourn the work that I'd now have to redo if I wanted to do that again. No, actually, I probably wouldn't, because it's... I think I saved the file in my assets folder, which did not get wiped. So it might still be there. But also, I'm not, like, I kind of also don't miss it, because it's like, it was in the general area of what I wanted, but not exactly what I wanted, so who knows? Welcome to my brain. Oh, that reminds me, I was going to look that up too. Give me 1 second here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Where's the streaming folder? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yep, thought so. And Just banning a couple of bots. Okay. And that's better. Well, it's not better. It is what it is, but I like to keep the bots out of chat when I can. It's just not always possible because there's more of them than there are of us. Fortunately, I'm not the type of streamer that gets a lot of... that gets directly botted. But when the bots that are there just to watch the stream for some reason... Anyway, I prefer to actually have my users window show the people that are actually in chat. Call me crazy. Okay, what are we doing? Unintentional, okay. So let's see here. We want. What's the story? And we're in the ads. Since the ads are up anyway, for anybody who can actually hear me, I am going to take a quick break. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. For what that's worth. All right, let's see here. I really need to trim this. It's getting a little shaggy. Anyway. Thank you for the alert that my bill is ready. That's always nice. All right. Why are you not scrolling? Oh, come on. Is this my mouse doing its thing again? Yeah, it's not scrolling anywhere. I think I may need to get... I wonder if I have any compressed air around here. Christ. Give me a second. I have a Logitech G something or other. Let's see, what is it? Logitech. Come on, load up. The fuck? I've really got to get this. I've got to disconnect that light. The Logitech Hero G502. It has gotten to the point where the mouse wheel just spontaneously stops working. And if I some combination of if I blow on it enough and bang it on the desk, which is not good for it, obviously, then it starts working again. I think I need to figure out, I need to go online and find out if there's an iFixit teardown on it or something that I can go in there and just really clean it out, because I think that's really what the problem is. Anyway, just taking a look at, I've gotten into this routine now where somebody just liked one of my posts on Blue Sky, and when it's somebody I don't recognize, or I recognize but didn't realize they were on Blue Sky, I go follow them, and then like the good old days on Twitter, check to see who they're following or who may be following them, to see if there's any other people out there that I want to be following, since that kind of discovery is still kind of lacking somewhat on Blue Sky. But in a way, it's kind of nice, you know, because then I feel like I have better control over it. As more people start using it, however, it is going to, what do you call it? It's not going to scale very well. Excuse me. Hello, DC. It's good to see you. I hope you are doing well. Let's see what we got here. I wonder... No, let's not do that. Washed hair and they'll want to go to bed. Okay. I'm getting old. Tell me about it. I don't have to do anything that active in order to want to go to bed. Yesterday I went food shopping in the morning. Morning-ish? Afternoon? No, afternoon. Anyway. And it was one of those trips where I had to pick up a number of things that I don't do on a weekly basis, like stuff you only buy like once a month or once every couple of months. I had like all of those things I needed to get. Right, so I had extra bottles of, like, I sleep with a CPAP machine, so I needed distilled water for that. I bought 2 jugs of that and whatever else. So I had more groceries to bring back than I normally would, and just having one of those trips. And it was a little bit unwieldy when I was in the supermarket. For food shopping trips oddly stress me out these days in a way that they never have before. It's just interesting new thing that my anxiety has latched onto. Yeah, so I got it done. It was a little bit more than I wanted to deal with at any given time, but it took more out of me than it does for most people because of the way my anxiety works. And like when I was checking out, I bought these like a couple of these single size serving containers of macaroni salad that was already made, and I had them sitting in like the child seat shelf in the shopping cart, and one of them fell through and broke open while I was checking out my groceries, and a little bit of it spilled out. So then after I got done with that, I had to like find somebody and apologetically say, hey, I dropped this thing. It needs to be cleaned up. I'm really sorry. They were fine, but I just hate that. Would have done it myself if I had something to clean it up with. Anyway, got back home, put all that stuff away, and that simple trip, I was wiped. It was a good couple of hours. I was useless before I was able to get back in the swing of things. So yeah, I can relate to not wanting to function after doing something as simple as washing your hair. Simple. You know what I mean. It's like everything requires 50 to 75 energy and I'm capped at 25. Yeah, I know that feeling. Interesting that for my brain, the way I tend to conceptualize it is that it's... Yeah, no, that's accurate. It also seems that, like, I find myself being jealous a lot of the times of people who can kind of just do stuff that it takes me more planning to do. My ADHD is a perfect example. There are a fair number of things that are just sort of like daily activities for most people that I need to break down into ridiculously small steps in order to make sure that they get done, like cleaning the bathroom and other things like that. And as part of my understanding what's going on in my own head, it took me a while to get to the point to understand that, oh, you mean everybody doesn't go through this? It's understandable that it's taking me longer because not everybody's built the same way, which is kind of a relief. But then you get to the point of, or I got to the point of, and occasionally bump up against being jealous of people who can do things that I can't, not because I'm not trying, but just because we're built differently, you know? And we're gnats again. Interesting. While the ads are still running, let me turn up the heat a little bit. In the ongoing saga of, because my thermostat is in the hallway, it does not reflect the temperature in the entire apartment. I just went over there to turn it up a notch because it's a little bit chilly in here. And it said it was 74 degrees. It is not 74 degrees in this apartment right now. Wait, did it? My camera just got screwed. I should not be that blown out. I adjusted this. Yeah, it's fucked again. What is up with this? Things are not behaving the way they're supposed to. I don't know what changed. I think it got... When I opened up the Logitech thing, it shut off my Lytra USB light that I have in this. I have like a panel LED light that's behind the camera and up a little bit to the left, and I've got one over here. It's just kind of my fill light. And unfortunately, the Logitech software is kind of balls when it comes to controlling things the way it should, because it's being too clever for its own good half the time. It'll shut that, like it will adjust that light based on certain apps that you have on the screen. If you specify it, you can specify to do that. I don't want any of that, and so I think I tried to shut all that stuff off, but occasionally it just reacts anyway because it's randomly generating fucking profiles and stuff. Anyway, so I think that when I started the Logitech software, it might have recycled or reset something in such a way, probably the camera, right? It probably grabbed the camera, and that screwed up my settings in OBS. So my face was blown out for like a good, I've been on for 2 hours, probably at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half of the stream. That's great. We really need a Logitech alternative so they get their shit together. Plus, I thought the new OBS was going to change that so you could save your camera settings, but I didn't see any difference when I updated to OBS 30. Hmm. Let's see, back into the streaming folder, and let's look up this. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see here. All right. I've been on for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. 23 minutes. So, for getting back in the swing of things, I've got as much done as I can get done right now with regard to that. So, that's my babbly way of saying that I'm going to call it here. Thank you all as always for showing up. I will be on 4 out of the 5 days this week. On Wednesday, I have to go over to my parents' house and walk their dog because they have an appointment during the day. So we'll be back tomorrow, same time. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. I hope everything goes well. And yeah, have a good night, have a good afternoon, good evening, good everything. And